Erron Black. All right. Finally, I get to review something I at least enjoy it. Okay. 6 hand size, 27 vitality, air, chaos, order, respectable low zone attack symbols. E once per turn, add up to 2 printed low attacks from your card pool to your momentum. I love this ability. I didn't love it when I first read it. I didn't love Erron when I first read him. I can admit that. However, I'm a changed man, and I've grown to appreciate him. All right, after looking at him a few times, thinking about it, he's got a lot going on for him. Okay, first of all, the E once per turn can be done on either turn, yours or your opponent's. Okay, that's important, right? There's nothing worse than characters that are gated onto one turn or another. That's really irritating. I find that it's almost like an unnecessary gate a lot of the times. You should just let them do whatever, especially nowadays, right? The power level seems to be creeping, so just let them run free. Add up to 2 printed low attacks. So printed low, they don't have to stay low. And you can just add them from your card pool to momentum. So this has multiple functions. And this is kind of where I started to love it. When I first saw him, I didn't like it because I was like, okay, you can add 2 low attacks. So in order to get maximum benefit, you got to play low, play a third low, clear 2, and then play a 4th low to get the benefit of the reduced difficulty on top of the benefit of gaining momentum, and so on, right? Following me? And I was like, that's cool. You can do it with one, so you can play a low, play a second one, clear the first, and then move on that way and get some benefit off of that way. However, what I really loved about him once I thought about it was that this enhance also works to turn certain attacks into pseudo actions, right? So you think about an attack like Toy Touch. So you can run it in Erron Black and it's 2 diff. You throw that thing down, use the enhance on it, grab a foundation from your staging area, and then just insta-clear it, right? Don't even let that thing resolve. Okay, so what you've done now is you've played a card just for the ability to gain momentum on snap and to use that card's effect. You can also just go straight down the momentum alley and play a card like Stinging Upper to throw another low into your pool, clear them both, gain 2 momentum off one attack. You can do something similar with Swordfish Gunfire on its static to gain another momentum off top of deck. Or you can use a card like Rolling Attack from Blanca. You can soft check the top of your opponent's deck, try and filter out attacks, and then abort the attack. Like, there's just some cute stuff you can do with it on top of its, pool clearing, momentum gaining nonsense, right? It's got cool stuff you can do, on top of the blocking with lows and clearing them. Like, it's a really flexible ability. And I really enjoy abilities that can be used both offensively and defensively, and that can be used just for utility's sake, and that can be used from all these different angles because it maintains a wide array of options while you're playing. And it lets you do multiple things with just a few tools. That kind of design is amazing, right? So first enhance, love it. Second enhance, again, when I first looked at it, and I was like, hey, after a low attack deals damage, commit one of your opponent's foundations. I was like, that's good, but it kind of feels like win more because when you're playing lows, and if you're landing lows, that usually means your opponent can't block low, or they're letting you hit them. So if they're letting you hit them, they're usually in control of the situation. But if you're just getting attacks through, you're already where you want to be. You already are in control of that. So when you're getting this effect off, either your opponent's letting you or you're already kind of digging into them. It is targeted committal, which is fantastic. So if your opponent just doesn't happen to have the low block and they have to eat the half damage, it will sometimes let you take out defensive pieces that might let you push through for kills. There will be those situations and it will kind of come through on those. And you can proc it on every low hit, right? So you're just constantly locking down more and more of their pieces as you go. So it'll very quickly, if your opponent doesn't stay vigilant to defending themselves, you can definitely use it to leverage pretty easy kills once you get some damage on board. But what I loved about this is that if you have the ability to change your opponent's attacks to low, because this doesn't say printed low. First ability says printed low. Second ability just says low attack. So if you can change your opponent's attack to low and then eat it, you can commit your opponent's crap on their turn, which will definitely catch some people off guard. Because if they're not paying attention and if they don't see you as being intelligent enough to run that kind of stuff, then they're definitely going to be blindsided by it. And even if they're not blindsided by it, the second that you drop a card that lets you change their attacks to low, they're going to be like, ooh, okay, now I actually have to plan out my attacks. I can't just throw random pokes into you because you're going to use it as an opportunity to lock down defensive pieces now or offensive pieces if you need to stay alive. Like, there's just a lot you can do with these two abilities. There's so many ways you can play them. It's very versatile, and that's what I love about him. Very good for a 6-hand size character. Very good. He stands out to me. He does. I don't know how strong he's actually going to be in terms of competitive environment, but he's definitely one of my favorite characters. I'm definitely going to want to play him in the future. I'm a big Order fan to start with, but just all the different avenues you can go down. You can use the same deck so many different ways, and you can adapt it to so many different environments. You can play defensively, still use both of those abilities, and still benefit from the character. You can play offensively and aggressive, still benefit from both these abilities, and you can still use the same deck. Like, anytime that you can take something and use it in multiple ways, that's good, right? You just have to recognize that. That has strong value. How much it has value within the meta itself and within the popular decks that are going to be run, we won't know until Mortal Kombat kind of settles within the rest of the card pool. But on a first glance, he definitely comes out as a strong card. So definitely watch out for a few Erron Black builds, because they're going to be scary once people start figuring out how to play this guy. So yeah, like I said,